I wanted to do something a little bit different, but basically, I'm just here sharing what I have been learning so far since making the decision to ultimately quit Instagram and put most of my effort towards YouTube and creating for YouTube, but more so, mostly at the height of it all or at the top of it all, it's mostly about getting back to being a content creator again, because in 2017, when I first stepped into the online space, it was all about content creation for me and being that person who was creating out of the things that the Lord was teaching her. Like everything that God was teaching me at that time, because I was newly saved, girl, I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to say something about it, from lessons that he was teaching about me being made in his image and likeness and beauty and the standards that I had for myself when it came to being beautiful, and unlearning those things, to talking about the Bible and things like that. Like whatever the Lord was teaching me at that point in time in my life, I was creating a piece of content around it. And towards the end of 2024, I started feeling that pull to come online and start creating in that way again, because I was in business for the last 3 years, talking more so about brand strategy. And one of the biggest lessons that I'm learning so far is that I do brand strategy for a living, but I would rather spend my life building up the body of Christ. I find so much joy in doing that. And yes, maybe brand strategy has a role to play in that work, and I don't think I'm meant to leave it per se, but it cannot and it should not be the entirety of the content that I get to create online, because I'm just sitting on, like, doing that and showing up in that way positions me to sit on so many of the amazing things that God has taught me, is constantly teaching me. But also on top of that, it positions me as like this person that's trying to be an expert. And maybe this is another lesson too, but I have found that I enjoy consuming content and creating content that comes out of experience rather than expertise. For one, when it comes to consuming content like that, I find it to be more relatable. I connect with the creator even more. It puts me in my thoughts, and I'm a thinker. I love to think. I love to process. I like to understand and make sense of things. And so I enjoy consuming content in that way. But as the person who's creating content like that, like creating content that is based off of experiences, it challenges me to process my own experiences. It challenges me to think through the things that I'm walking out. And also, I think that creating out of experiences rather than expertise really challenges my perception of self and who I am, like my identity. And I think for so long, being somebody who's been in online business as a brand strategist and showing up and creating content around brand strategy and trying to sell my services in that way and things like that, it has really blinded me. It's almost like I had blinders on to the totality of who I am. And not only that, it's caused me to almost front in how I was showing up, put on this persona in the name of being this expert, of being seen as this expert. And that performance gets very tiring. That performance gets overwhelming. That performance actually makes you hate creating content again. Yeah, it makes you hate creating the process of creating content, because you're always thinking about how you're being perceived by people. Will they take me seriously? Do they even want to work with me? It's always at this aim of like how you're being perceived by people, and will they perceive you high enough to for you to be taken seriously in your field of expertise. And while there's a time and a place for expertise, you should be able to communicate and convey the level of knowledge and understanding that you have around the particular subject or topic that you sell a service or a product around. You can also do that through experience as well. And I think that is one of the biggest lessons that I am learning, and how I want to move forward with creating content. So just to recap real quick, first lesson is, I forgot what the first lesson is. Something else that I am also learning as I am creating content is that it does not have to be perfect. The goal with being a creator, again, is consistency for me and sustainability for me. I think, again, it's easy to just get caught up with all the things that shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Like, you should have great camera, you should have great lighting, you should have awesome quality, especially if you're a brand strategist. How can you say you're a brand strategist and you're falling short in all of these other areas? And I think that's, again, where God has really been trying to teach me the lesson of you need to take off of your expert hat and put on your experience hat and actually show up in the lived experience you're in right now. But consistency, I'm finding, is so much more important to me than the quality of the content that I'm putting out. And when I say quality, it's not the quality of the message, but the quality of the content, like how it's looking. Is it 720? Because a lot of my content right now is like 720 versus 1080 or 4K and things like that. Which, sorry, by the way, I have a cold, so that's why I'm like doing all this stuff. But I, right now in this season, value consistency over showing up with all of the aesthetics or having everything together. And something that I've always noticed about myself is that I am really good at just taking action in the moment that my creativity or inspiration is sparked or whatever the case may be. I'll take action in that moment for those things. Oh my God, I totally took the wrong turn. How annoying is that? Do I think I can turn? I probably can, low-key. This is like, film content when you are like driving people. I'm gonna have to figure this out as I go. But hopefully the GPS will correct or redirect me. But as I was saying, I'm finding that I value the consistency. So I think that, like, when I have an idea, like, I'm good to jump on that idea and do the thing. The idea is there, I will go ahead and jump on it. My problem, however, what is going on? Sorry, y'all are watching me in real time get lost, and my GPS is acting frozen, like she don't got no sense or something to direct me to where I need to go. Now I have to bust a whole U-turn. Girl, this is the best. Let me actually get to this light real quick so that I am getting back on the road correctly, because I'm actually on my way to pick up some groceries and things for the house. And now you want to get it together? Girl, please. I'm going to pick up some groceries for the house, and I'm gonna pick up order. Girl, I don't like going inside the store like that, especially considering that I'm sick right now. I'm definitely not going in that store. So I did an order yesterday to pick up this morning, and that's what I'm about to go do. But I was like, I want to record today. This is like the best I've felt in the last few weeks. I have felt so crappy because I've been so sick, but I feel really good today. I'm still sick, but I feel so much better. So I was like, I want to record something. I just don't know when I'm going to record it. And I'm like, do I have to have all of the things together? Probably not. So that's why I'm recording on a whim in the car and all of these types of things. And this is what I mean by, the circular right back. This is what I mean by I'm really good at like doing things on a whim and when inspiration strikes and stuff like that. But I'm finding that as much to lean into the way that I'm wired in that way, but also to create some sense of stability in the way that I'm creating content, like so that I can show up consistently, because I value consistency in this season. Lean into my wirings the way that I'm naturally wired. When inspiration strikes, go ahead and pop out the camera and record your content, right? But what you need to make sure, Rose, is that you're not only doing that when you are inspired, right? You're not only creating when inspiration strikes or when motivation hits. So one of the things that I do in order to create sustainability within my content is that I know the system that I use to create. Like, descript is that girl. I record in her, like I can record within that program. Not only do I record in the program, I actually edit all of my videos within the program. Like everything that I need to do for my YouTube videos is all done through descript. So that's just like having a simple system that I come back to over and over again keeps me consistent. Not only that, I ideate, script out all of my content inside of Notion. I have a simple system that I use inside of Notion to ensure that I'm creating content consistently. Not only that, it is also all integrated within my daily schedule. So like Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays are like the days in which I focus on anything related to content creation and things like that. My GPS is really not working right now. I think I think I'm okay. Girl, listen, you cannot rely on GPS to get to where you need to go, because you need to know your area, because GPS will fail you, because it's definitely failing me now. That girl is stuck on one screen, and thankfully I know where I am, because if I didn't know where I am, I would be totally lost, and that would be a very sad thing. I'd be a very sad girl. But yeah, that's another lesson that I'm learning about content creation, is like having these simple, sustainable systems that allow me to show up consistently, because consistency is a key value of mine when it comes to content creation. So having those simple systems, while also leaning into the way that I'm naturally wired. Although this video is a little bit different, it's a very much a car yap, a car chat, or whatever the case may be, it's still going to go through the same system of like where I'm going to edit this inside of descript. And something else that I noticed about myself is that I like minimal editing. Okay, like I'm a minimal editing kind of a girl, because again, the value in this season is consistency. If editing is creating a barrier between having the actual video and getting it out there, something has to give in that way. I'm like over having barriers in the name of holding up the identity of expertise. Like whatever barriers are in the way and preventing me of being able to show up consistently, they have to go. Another lesson that I'm learning is that whatever perception that I have created in my mind about what it is that I do has to go. I have to shed these perceptions that I've created for myself, this false identity that I've built up about myself and the work that I get to do. Because what I'm finding is that, yes, I do brand strategy for a living, but again, I would rather spend my life building up the body of Christ. And if in my pursuit of doing brand strategy, I'm creating this false perception of myself, and it's causing me to not show up as consistently as I need to, that is now a problem, okay? And so it is better, I'm finding that it is better for me to show up consistently and imperfectly than showing up perfectly and inconsistently, even as a brand strategist. Because as a brand strategist, you have this idea in your mind that you have to have the perfect website, you have to have the perfect branding, you have to have the perfectly curated images, you have to have the perfect everything to be effective in this work, in this field that I'm doing, that I'm in. But again, I would rather spend the rest of my life building up the body of Christ. And people will have more respect for my work and have more respect for me if I show up consistently doing what it is that I do imperfectly, and will value whatever expertise that I have for brand strategy because I'm showing up so consistently. And yeah, that's another lesson that I've had. This is very much off of the cuff and very much not scripted, very much off of the dome, so it feels rambly. I will upload this video, obviously, because again, all of these lessons I'm learning just in general about being a creator again and creating content. It's important for me to exercise the things that I'm learning despite whatever I might be feeling in a moment. And this is one of those videos that I'm not fully 100% like in love with or confident with, but it's something that needs to be, it had to come out of me, and it needs to be put out online. And so I hope that you enjoyed today's video. I've arrived to the store to pick up my groceries, okay? And I hope that the lessons that I talked about today can help you with whatever the Lord has called you to do, whether he's called you to show up on YouTube, or he's telling you to be a creator on Substack. He's told you to stop doing what you're doing with your business. Whatever it is that the Lord is calling you to do in this season of your life, I pray that this video would somehow inspire you, encourage you, teach you a thing or two about what it looks like to do the things that the Lord is calling you to do, even if it is very unconventional and it doesn't look like what will create or see success within the online space and things like that. With that said, girl, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, like this video, and I love you with the love of Christ, and I will be seeing you in another episode. TTYL.